Look at that rolling into action there. Welcome to Dead Space 3. On second thoughts, Mr. Fluke, you have a roof on your house, finally.
I do. It's nice and warm in here as well, because it's not just re-roofed, it's properly insulated, because there wasn't any before. It was literally tiles outside. Just tiles.
I missed you.
Plasterboard, then tiles.
I missed you.
So warm in here now, it's awesome.
Good.
And it's nice to be back.
Good.
Well, for a little while before I take my PC apart for another couple of days and start belting all the old plaster off the walls, but yeah, we'll get back and get some bits done.
So, in the time that you have had to play it, between builders ripping your roof off and it snowing and everything else, I hear rumours that you managed to play some Dead Space 3.
For a few minutes at a time, yeah. Because I'll be wholly honest, this game scares the living crap out of me.
I found that... Now, here's where we instantly separate ourselves. You haven't played 1 or 2.
No, I haven't.
And I have. So this to me wasn't as scary as 1 or 2. It made me jump a few times.
I've been told that.
Look at some of these pimp suits. Did you notice the like solid gold pimp suit up the top?
Where did you get all of these suits from?
I got the Witness and the First Contacts one from pre-order. And apart from that, you get one for completing the game, and then you just unlock the others as you go through. You should make sure that as you're playing through the game that you hit all of these suit kiosks that you find. Because certain ones in certain locations will unlock a suit while you're there.
Ah, I see.
But I don't think you've not completed it yet, and
That's
I don't
cool.
think
I like that suit.
Well, this is the old suit. This is the old suit. This is like the retro Dead Space suit.
Yeah, is that for completing the game or something?
I believe it was, but I'm not sure because it said they unlocked like the legendary suit, which that was what this looked like to me, but I wasn't too sure. And this is my pimp rifle, as I have nicknamed it.
What are you firing at them?
It's the standard military core rifle with stasis. So if the first shot doesn't put them down, it holds them still long enough that the rest will put them down. Unfortunately, my aiming doesn't make up for the power of the rifle.
Yeah. That's one thing I couldn't quite get. I still haven't quite gotten used to.
That was a good shot.
The sensitivity's weird.
Now this is what you were going on about, how the horizontal vertical sensitivity is off. Yeah. They're not the same.
No, they're not the same by a long shot, and the vast difference in sensitivity between aim mode and third person mode, as it were. The camera just feels awkward and difficult at times.
I've played games that have worse cameras, and I've played games that have some better cameras, and I can't remember what the key is for stasis, so I'm just kind of stood there looking at it.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to end badly if he doesn't remember that key sharpish.
And I was like, I got it! Okay, now run, Isaac! Run! Run! Good job. These enemies I absolutely hate, by the way. They...
Sit on the heads of things.
No, they burrow into the neck and then take control. And if you kill the body but not the head, then the head will just come out and will go find another body. And so they're really irritating. But I must admit, the game to me, like I'll admit, I'm a Dead Space fan. You not so much. You haven't played 1 and 2, and I played 1 and 2 and I liked them. And this game, after having seen everything that this game is giving me currently and hearing what they're doing with the DLC and seeing all of the co-op stuff that's in the game, I must admit, I'm pleasantly surprised but also irritated by some things. It's like they take 2 steps forwards and 1 step back when it comes to certain aspects of the game. And there's the saw blade.
That's pretty cool.
No. You think it's cool. I'm going to keep using it for a little bit.
You just took him apart.
Yes, but unfortunately, that seemed to be more dumb luck than anything else.
Oh.
There are going to be... Look at this. See? He didn't care. Like, no.
You're going to have to slow them down first. You're going to have to hit them with stasis and then take them apart.
But there are better guns that I have. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
there's more efficient methods of killing them.
Yes, there are.
Depends on the bad guy, I guess.
Yeah, that was the thing. I noticed that some of the weapons were pretty pants, but at the same time, it was like, well, I guess I could try and find somewhere that this would be effective. Maybe like fringe cases where it's like, hey, this gun is pretty handy. But for the most part, after I finished making this rifle, I just kept it.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I've found a good piece of kit, or rather I've put together a nice piece of kit with a telemetry spike, and it's just a plain simple telemetry spike. But I have to admit, I cheaped out and bought one of the packs. I couldn't resist buying one of the packs. I bought the sharpshooter pack. If I'm going to invest...
Hang on. Just say that again for me?
Yeah, I bought one of the DLCs, me. But I figure since you bought me Dead Space as a gift, and it didn't cost me anything, and you you slamming that body about.
Do you notice I pulled it off the spike as well?
Yeah,
like...
I do like that. That's one of why I like the telemetry spike so much, and I've got a stasis on it, so I just things come jumping at me, and I'm just kind of like, because it has so much momentum in the spike. If it doesn't kill them, it slows them down, and the stasis slows them down even more. So I can just put a second round in them and kill them.
Yeah, that's what I liked about this gun. This gun was strong enough that it got me through the beginning of the game by being able to one-shot, and then when it came to dark enemies, the stasis really kind of kept me alive.
Yeah.
I did find that the stasis mod for your weapon, I fell in love with. It was like, why would I use anything else? It's like, I can set them on fire, I can use acid bath, you know, to each their own, but for me the stasis one was good. But if you're using a less powerful weapon, using a weapon that doesn't have as much stopping power per shot, then it doesn't apply as much stasis per shot.
So it's damage based. I was going to ask, how does stasis... So the more damage it does, the more stasis it applies.
If you notice, if you use a minigun, for example...
Yes, I did. That was exactly what I was going to say. I tried the minigun.
If you put the stasis amp on the minigun, it won't do anything close to what that does. The reason that this gun is as powerful as it is because it's a single shot rifle that just...
Do we actually see the rifle? Which one? What is it? Oh, you're gonna build something new.
I'm gonna let's build something else and see how badly we can make it not suck.
Wow, you've got a lot of frames.
Yes. You find them as you go through the game. You find quite a few, and you can make new ones. Like you have the option to craft them if you don't find them.
Yeah.
Most of them seem to come from the optional missions.
I see.
Like all of the optional missions. Like we're doing an optional mission here, and you'll see at the end of it there's a loot chest that just basically contains a ton of stuff.
Right, so you'll find also pneumatic torch. Oh, I gotta get me one of those. Flamethrower. That's what I'm talking about.
No. I could go with a flamethrower, or I could turn it into a cryo gun, which I tested out in my actual playthrough and it sucked really badly. Or I could go for the compressor.
Yep, that sounds so. It's a boosted flamethrower. Yep.
Yes. Precision flamethrower.
Now we add another one on the bottom. You can't firebolt at the same time though, can you?
Some weapons you can, some weapons there's a delay, some weapons takes quite a while between the two shots.
Spike, oh yeah.
With a conic dispersal.
I haven't tried the shotgun
rivet launcher.
I haven't tried that. I just had to go the standard telemetry spike and was like, this is my gun.
See, now I will admit, right, here's where my first contention with this game comes in. The mods that you can get for your weapons are beautiful. I love the crafting system in this game. Fantastic. I love this. I love that there are also parts that will heal you in co-op, or will increase weapon damage in co-op, or will...
There's a lot of co-op bits and pieces that I got from my... I've done one of the optional missions, the Conning Tower, in the mothership, and all the bits and pieces I got were co-op bits. Yeah. And it was like, oh, it's all co-op bits, but I'm waiting till I've played through one. Oh, and we'll get better ones next time. So these are no good to me.
But it's great in that way. It's great in this way, like all these different modified parts, and the fact you can essentially just build this gun, and it's got a very Dead Rising feel to me. That whole just like Mama used to make. You just pull his gun up off a desk, and it's just
parts.
Yes, but then at the same time, as you're playing through the game and you pick up parts, you have no idea what they can be used for. And then if you want to try and find it, you essentially have to go hunting through your craft menu.
Every single different frames, because some of them only apply to, say, the plasma core. Yeah, once you've got it on a certain frame. So you've got to...
some will only work on one-handers, some will only work on two-handers, some will work on both. And it's really awkward when you pick up a piece and it's like, wow, that has an amazing name. You know,
what is it? Now I've got to go through everything and try and find what core it goes on, and then whether it's a one-hander or a two-hander, the circuits are simple enough, but...
Yeah, I like the circuits, and the fact that once you've found a circuit, you can then construct that circuit is great, because it's a case of, okay, well, now that I know what it looks like, and I know how it's made, I can
just
replicate
make
it.
loads of these. I like that. There's like all the damage and reload. All the damage and reload, thank you. No.
And as you go through the game, you'll start seeing these ones that are like, you can see there at the bottom of my list, I've got like +2, -1s.
Yeah,
you'll then start getting like +3s, +3s. +3s you only get for completing the first playthrough. So that you then can go through the game on New Game Plus, and you'll have something that actually is worth going through New Game Plus for, because you'll unlock higher mark frames and higher mods. And
how you
which
keep
is
up
a
with the
fantastic
increased
idea.
difficulty of the mods, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the blueprints, mind. So if you make a really awesome gun, you can save the blueprint and give the blueprint to your mate, who can then manufacture it from parts. He doesn't, from spare parts.
There you go. This is why I picked this level to show off. So we're playing through the barracks, the Reaper barracks, which is they're like an elite military. And if you read all the backstory that you can find through here, you find out some interesting stuff about them. But then you can see this whole like you have no friends, you have no family, you are a machine, you follow orders, you kill on command. So this is the flamethrower with stasis.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Flamer with stasis. Hang on, that doesn't do much damage though.
No, I did notice that though.
That's going to chew up ammo and not do any damage. That's lame.
Flame weapons seem to be good for taking out hordes or low health, high numbers. But there's the chest. So, the game itself, like graphically, I like the game. I'm irritated at the fact that the PC version doesn't get any bells or whistles, but I don't mind, because the game runs smoothly at the FPS it's given. It doesn't really affect it at all. The game feels like a good Dead Space sequel. It works, but like I said, it has that whole 2-step forward, 1-step back mentality, with things like the crafting system being done the way it is, and the way that...
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say the crafting system just needs a couple of tweaks. It could use an extra menu adding to that bench, a parts list.
But you're not going to see
all
those.
The parts I've got.
See there, I just picked up a rail accelerator, and that
it shows you a picture of what it attaches to, but if you're not paying attention, if this is in the middle of a fight, you don't see that. Yeah. And then even then, you've got to know what that part looks like.
Yeah, and then you've got to go work out which frame it goes on.
You've got to remember that long enough till you find the next bench, etc., etc.
My only issue with the main game is the backtracking that you get quite a bit. You're constantly going back through certain areas, and it doesn't bother me as much as it would if certain other things weren't put in place. Like the way that you go back through the areas, certain things change as you go back through them, and you don't do it as often as you used to in like Dead Space 2, for example. Irritated me with the amount of times I had to go back, or I had to go places because certain things just weren't working because Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Oh, I hate having to backtrack a lot. I haven't noticed a massive amount nothing that doesn't make sense story-wise.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
It makes sense. Like, so I'm just like, okay, can I take this guy out with a plate?
No.
But
give me something.
Knife. No.
No.
Bucket. No. Plate. No. It's like, how can I kill this? Oh.
Well, it's on. There we go.
He just gave up out of shock. But the big irker for me is the save system. That's the thing that infuriates me the most and makes me want to take off Isaac's helmet in space and just let him die.
To a high degree, I agree with that, because there's a number of times I've been wanting to just stop there, because largely, I'll admit, because I'm a bit of a wuss. So it's like, no, it's starting to get to me a bit. I need to go play something else for a little while.
I need to just go outside and see what the sun looks like and remember the smell of sunflowers, and I need to taste happiness.
I need to go and play something like Minecraft and stay on the surface during the day, or something silly like that, you know what I mean? Something happy, and dance amongst the sheep and the pigs. And you can't just pick it up and put it down. You've very much got to play until they say you've reached the point where it's saved, or you're going to have to redo that last half hour. And they're not like regularly spaced either. Sometimes they are like a half hour, 45 minutes apart if you're taking your time.
Well, yeah, but we should explain that briefly. So the way that it works is there's a checkpoint system in the game. And then these enemies are so irritating. There's the ability for you to quit out and save. Now, if you quit out and save, you save your inventory state as it currently is when you click the save button. And your progress will revert back to the last checkpoint that you triggered. Which means that you might then have to play through. And if you're doing optional missions...
I had just completed the conning tower. And then I came out of the conning tower and even thought, I'll get back on the tram and I'll go to the next place. Because that ought to save it, right? Nope. It basically acts like I hadn't done the conning tower, but I've got the inventory of it.
This is what happens if you don't press E. I didn't press E on purpose.
It basically pulls your head off and replaces it.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. And that's it. I like the deaths, but I dislike the quick times. Quick times in any game always irritate me, and quick times in this are just...
Very much so.
Press E to not die.
Between the saves,
gets on my nerves.
Pretty much. Between the save system and the quick time events, they are the two things that annoy me a bit. But the quick time events do mean an insta-kill on some enemies. And in exchange for a little bit of health that you lose while it grabs you, sometimes I've got far more health packs than ammo, so it's just easier. Like, alright then, I'll just let you grab me, and then I'll insta-kill you.
Yeah. So it's... For me, it was like, it's not a perfect game. It's nowhere near a perfect game.
No,
the systems that the systems that support the game are flawed, and this causes problems. For example, the way that the saves and game state works in regards to your inventory and the checkpoint system, the way the crafting system works, and more specifically, like the way that saves are tied to your game irritated me. Because like me and you wanted to go play through co-op together, and it was like, oh, I completed the game, I'll throw you my save. And I know this won't bother that many people. But it's curious to see that your save is tied so specifically to your game that if you try to load it into someone else's that has even something slightly different, it will essentially claim it's corrupt and will not allow it to be used.
Yep. Because you've got different DLCs and stuff.
Or different suits that you've bought, or you've got the pre-order, or the limited edition, or any of this kind of stuff.
Modular, so it just drops them out, and just, no, you haven't got that, so we'll just drop it from the game. Oh, he's wearing it, we'll put him in the default one instead.
Yeah.
It does smell a little bit heavily of a console mod.
Give me your final thoughts.
I like the game. I am enjoying it, I've got to say, and I am looking forward to playing it in the co-op. It is entertaining me.
I'm looking forward to seeing the DLC.
What DLC have they got planned?
They haven't announced much. Also, check this.
Flammable barrel.
Flammable barrel. Not flammable. It's like Isaac living dangerously there. Yeah, so the DLC, they haven't announced too much, but they're basically like, we've got big plans. You should check this out.
Okay.
So it's quite cool. But if you have any questions, queries, or comments for myself or Mr. Fluke, or you want to laugh at us, then please feel free to leave them down below. And for myself, from Mr. Fluke, and from everyone else at L3, we hope you're enjoying Dead Space 3, and we will catch you for the next video. Peace.
In a while.